So for personal development planning this morning, okay, we're going to be building on what you looked at last week with the CV building, okay, and looking at CVs and critical analysis of some different CVs, okay. So I've brought some along this morning, which you guys are going to be looking at, okay, identifying like what are the strengths of these CVs, what are the areas of improvements, okay, and as well hopefully taking on board some of those comments to help you improve like your own CVs, okay. So the outcomes for the next hour or so will be, as I said, to look back at last lecture that we did on making your CV work for you, okay, as well as that critically analysing a range of different CVs and then identifying like key features of an effective CV and relate it to your own portfolio, because by this stage of your personal development planning, your work-based learning, if you haven't got any sort of work-based learning hours yet and any work-based learning employment, then we're using these CVs to help you do that in the next couple of weeks, certainly. Okay. So to begin with, guys, what I'd like you to do, we're going to have a few questions on last time, so if you can make sure you've got paper and pen to hand, and there's going to be 5 questions on last lecture, all to do with what we covered on different CVs. Okay. So just have a go, write down the answer, and we'll discuss through each answer as we go through the beginning of the lecture. Okay, so first question number 1, like what is a CV? Okay, what's meant by the initial CV? Okay, and why is it important? Okay, so what is a CV and why is it important? That's question 1. Right, question number 2 is what is meant by a USP? Okay, what is meant by a USP? So think back to last week, what is a USP? So they all relate to you individually. Okay, what is a USP? Question number 3 is name 6 important sections of a CV. Okay. So if you can try and have them in the order they would appear on your CV as well. Name 6 important sections of a CV. Number 4, everybody, is what specific information would you have like, underneath your like, personal details section of your CV? So can you bullet point some particular information that you would have underneath your personal details on your CVs? So number 4, what specific information would you have underneath your personal details section on your CV? And final question, guys, is if you're going to send your CV to an employer, what should you always have it have accompanied with it? Okay, so rather than just send your CV, what are you going to have that you're going to send out which will be accompanied with your CV? Right, okay then guys, so going through those, just to like refresh your memory really from last lecture. So what is a CV and why is it important? Jack, do you mind starting us off? What is a CV?
So, it means curriculum vitae.
Yeah, curriculum vitae. Yeah.
It's just basically letting a person know everything about you, well, as much as you can, work history, employment, qualifications, where do you want to go, hobbies, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay, good. Anyone want to add anything to that? Guys, so what is it used, so why is it important?
It sells you.
Yeah, good, sells you. Dan?
You've got to use it to like impress your boss, like hopefully your future boss.
Yeah, so potential employers, you could use it to try and impress. So yeah, you three, you're completely right there. Okay, CV, curriculum vitae, it's your marketing tool if you like, guys. Okay, your marketing tool to try and sell yourself to a potential organisation, potential employer that you might be trying to hopefully gain employment with. Okay, good. Right, USP. Who can remember? Who can put their hand up and tell me like what USP was from last time? Gina.
Unique selling point.
Good, unique selling point. So why is that important with a CV? Unique selling point. What?
Oh, you asked me now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just for
Because
then it'll be just about you, and it's like what you can give to the employment, or what you can bring.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so something that you can specifically, an aspect of your like, personality or some of the skills that you've got, which makes you stand out from the crowd. Really, is what we're talking about with a USP. Okay, so everyone in this room has got some slightly different experiences depending on what you've been doing for sports-related employment, depending on your previous like experience in other aspects of employment as well, and sports-related. So you all have slightly different personalities, characteristics, which will give you different unique selling points. Okay, and it's important on your CV to use those to try and enhance your marketing tool, which is the CV. Okay. Number 3, I named 6 important sections of a CV. Oscar, can you tell me one important section?
Personal details.
So personal details is really important. Yeah, Cam?
Profile.
Profile. Yeah, so you can have personal profile as well. Jordan, something else?
Education.
Education. Yeah, Abby, something else?
Qualifications.
Qualifications. Lily, another?
Previous employment.
Previous employment. Jordan?
References.
Good references. Okay, so lots of key things there which it's important to have on your CV. Okay. What specific information would you have under personal details then? Jack, anything you'd have under personal details?
Telephone number.
Good, so contact numbers. Okay, really important. Something else, Oscar?
Your name.
Your name, specifically, yeah.
Home address.
Address, yeah. So as many means as possible for a potential employer to contact you. Okay. And remember, what we talked about last week is important that you keep updating your CV all the time, because you need your contact numbers to be accurate. Otherwise, if someone is really impressed by your unique selling points, then they're not going to contact you unless you've got the correct details on your CV. So that's vital. Okay. So number 5, then the final question: what should a CV be accompanied by? Abby.
Covering letter.
Good. Why is that important?
Because it like sums up why you're handing in your CV, basically.
Yeah, so what you could potentially want out of some employment, okay, or some work experience. Okay, if you're sending your CV, then the covering letter sort of explains the situation of why you might want to step foot in the door, as it were, and potentially gain some experience or some employment with that particular organisation. So it's important just to introduce yourself. Okay. Right, so on the PowerPoint, selecting a CV format, these are the things that you just talked about. So personal details, education and qualifications, work experience, employment history, skills, interests, and also referees and references. So those 6 categories are really important that you've got structured on your curriculum right eyes. Okay. So what we're going to do this morning, okay, moving back to the second learning outcome that we introduced at the beginning of the session, you guys are going to be critically analysing some different people's CVs. Okay. So, in different areas of the room, there's going to be 5 different CVs. Okay, so you're going to be working in pairs. So I'm going to put you into different groups. You're going to be working in pairs, and you've got to look at these CVs and just effectively like write down what you think of them. Okay, so you're going to read them through carefully, see what you think of them. Okay, and then at the end of the session, we're going to discuss what you thought of these particular CVs. Okay, how they could have improved, what were the strong points of them, and then you're hopefully going to take on board some of these points in enabling you to either enhance your current CVs or to improve how you're going to structure your CV if you start one from scratch. Okay, so that is what we're going to be doing. So in order to do that, you're going to have a worksheet, okay, which I'll go through in a second on the board. It's got a place for 5 different CVs, so have a look at it. So guys, what you've got to do, okay, this is the worksheet. So for each CV that you're going to look at, every one of these, which will be, as I said, the place of the room has got a number on top. So whichever number it is, so this one, number 1. So for the top left-hand corner of your worksheet, what are the strengths? So in your pairs, you can discuss it, write down as well, like you can do it individually or just by discussing it with your partner. Write down what you think the strengths are, okay, if there are any. What are the main weaknesses? And if you were to offer this particular person some advice on how they would improve their CV, how would they go about doing that? Okay, so that is what you're going to do for the 5 different CVs you're going to be looking at. So it's going to be like a carousel activity, different areas of the room. You can be moving around after 5-10 minutes on each activity station. Okay. Any questions at the moment on like the task? Anyone not understand what they've got to do? Everyone happy with that? Okay, just to help you a little bit more, for confidential reasons, like these CVs are previous students, okay? So names have obviously been blanked out, as well as contact numbers. They've all been blanked out for confidentiality. So if you look at one and think, well, they haven't even put their name on it, obviously that's there for a reason, because it's someone's actual CV that I've blanked out their contact details, as I said, for confidentiality reasons. Okay, so that is how that's going to work. So if we can have the following people working together, if I can have Abby and Cam, you guys will be working together. If you can come and start off with number one down here. Okay. You can, guys. Jack and Jordan, you can sit on this table here. Number two. Gina and Jordan Bowler. So Jordan, if you can go and sit next to Gina over there. Right, George, you're working with Dan. Okay. So George, if you go and sit at the back with Dan. Oscar, if you remain seated, then Lily, if you can come over here. Right, okay, so guys, firstly in your pairs, look through the CV, okay, discuss it, and then you can fill in your details on the worksheet. I'll come round each group to see how you're getting on, okay? You're going to have five minutes or so on each CV. Yeah. So yeah, discuss it, guys, see what you think of it, and then you can get down what you think.
Oh my
Good. Yeah, number 5.
What's it?
So for yours, guys, what number have you got? 3. So okay, so from what you told me of that,
That's an improvement. They've got like loads of spare space. Like they put that dense out of it.
so if that's something on structure, then maybe something you can offer to improve.
You said you can see that you said interest plays cricket, football, tennis, golf because they what skills you've got. Expand.
How are we getting on with this one, guys? This is number 4. Yeah? Do you think this is a good one? Okay. So we've got CV4 down there. So any comments on it? So if you think it's good, like in what ways you think it's good? Yeah, so concise. So that's good. Okay, good.
Just do what you've recently done.
Yeah.
It's not that big though.
So what do you think of that one so far?
Good personal profile for this place.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So any areas, in terms of structure that needs to be improved, and you can comment on. Right guys, 2 or 3 more minutes on these CVs, okay? So have a good look at them and have at least 2 or 3 strengths, 2 or 3 areas of improvement.
Shows you quit there. Done that.
Increasing weaknesses.
Exploring any aspect of sport. 5 now.
They say all my
So yeah, more than what would you say about the education sector? There's not enough.
well structured. Two areas.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What I'm
Good.
not enough.